Morning everyone, day 4 of Advent, and number 4 is going straight up here, hanging super lovely. And what shall I hang from my little box of delights? But I think it has to be the pear, so that the partridge and the parsnip both have somewhere to, sit in. So the pear is going to go up over there next to them. So it's going here in between the partridge and the parsnip. There you go. A fine threesome hanging there in front of the bookshelves. So morning once again to my sitting room on this quite dull morning, I have to say. I'll show you my painting from yesterday. It's sort of just white. And today it has been raining. It isn't foggy, but it's so heavy cloud that there was no sunrise to see again. So I think my December wheel theme of sunrise, it's going to be counting how many sunrises I actually see, which for the moment in 4 days is only one. That's part of what the phonology wheel is about. It's noting what happens, and really it's only when you decide to look at these things that you actually notice and see what you've actually got. So it's interesting regardless, and those little pieces of sunrise are going to look very jewel-like amongst the sea of grey. I just have to put a positive spin on it, because what else can you do? Here's yesterday's beautiful white out of a painting. You can see I only just could see the trees in shadow through the fog. Well, today's I can see the trees, but the sky is uniformly pale greyish white. Anyway, before I go on to yesterday, which was very nice and I had a nice day out, I'm going to regale you with the bird facts of the day, and I've opened it up on gold crest. What do I know about gold crests already? They're the smallest bird in the UK. I think they might be the smallest bird in Europe. They only weigh about 5 or 6 grams. If you go and get your little tiniest weight off your weighing machine, your scales. I use traditional scales, so I have ounces and grams in the little weights. In fact, I'm gonna go and get it, because it is very interesting. 2 shakes. I'm back. Okay, I've brought my 5 gram weight. There it is, my 5 gram weight. You can see how tiny it is in comparison to my hand. This little bird weighs about that size, that weight, and yet it's got a wingspan of about 5.5 inches, and it's about 3.5 inches long. They are so tiny, and yet here are the facts from the bird book. They regularly migrate across the North Sea in a single flight from Norway to Britain. It's because although goldcrests are resident all year here, we get a lot of Scandinavian birds that come down when it gets colder up there. They're coming to Britain as being a warmer place to be. So I think I don't see them on my bird feeders. Obviously I'm not rural enough or treed up enough around here to see them. But I suppose, yeah, it's a long time since I've actually spied a goldcrest. They're so small, they can die if they get stuck in a spider's web. I mean, that's how tiny they are. They can't fight their way out of a spider's web. The song of a male goldcrest ends with a flourish. Each male has up to 28 different endings in its repertoire. And the last little fact is they often hover at the end of branches so they can pick at the insects that are hard to reach. So I didn't know that either. So that's your bird facts of the day, everyone. So I'm going to put that down. I'll just put my weight up there so I don't lose it from my set of weights. Anyway, yesterday I did have a thoroughly lovely day. I did my shopping and stuff in the morning, that all went well, and I thought at first that I wasn't going to go to the gallery because of the fog, because I knew I'd have to go over the tops to where, you know, to like over the moors into the next valleys over, and I thought it might be too bad for driving. But by lunchtime the fog had burnt off, it was a lovely sunny day, it was cold but not too bad, put it that way, and so off I set. And it was so nice to have a drive out over the moors. I stopped at the border, and so you've got a bit of footage from where I left County Durham and I entered into Northumberland. And I did find the gallery, which was in the grounds of an old smelting works, and the industrial sort of archaeology there was super interesting. And so I did have a little look around there, and the gallery was beautiful, and I was there for ages. There was a lovely lady called Carol who owned the gallery, and her paintings were there as well. She's an oil painter, and her paintings were absolutely lovely. But in the end, I didn't take any footage from there because Carol and I were just having a nice chat together about painting and about Paul, whose paintings I'd gone to see. He'd been her tutor, and she was telling me what a lovely man he was, and how his paintings were so well regarded and they were all over the world. And to see that, and because we were having sort of just a nice chat, it didn't feel right to be saying, can I just film this bit? So I didn't film anything inside the gallery, but take it from me, it was definitely worth going. Carol was so lovely. We sat down and she had her oil paintings there, and she paints there in her workshop, so it's like her studio as well. And then to see the watercolour paintings in real life, and they were just absolutely marvellous. And if I had had the wherewithal, one of them would have come home with me without a shadow of a doubt, because there were still originals there for sale. And I fell in love with one in particular, with a window and a blue chair. And it was really big. It was sort of, you know, like a great big watercolour painting. And it was just so lovely. There were cards for sale, and I'm going to just show you the pictures of these because you can see them in a way I can't show you in the book really. So this is one of his paintings. This is Kill Up Law. Hope I'm showing you that without the shine of the light. So if I put the light off, you won't be able to see me. It's so dark. This one, it's called Windsill. Actually, I drove past that stand of trees on the way there. But it was these window paintings, and I think he has just a marvellous way of rendering the light. I think that's what he's painting. He's not painting the windows at all, he's painting light. And it's magical, and I loved them, and I'm definitely inspired to either copy one, because that'll teach me things, and then do my own version. So this one is just called Stained Glass. I mean, look at the light in there. It's wonderful. And he was always going painting them in these ruined houses up in Northumberland. There's another one. The Blue Room, that one's called. This is my favourite of the cards that I've got, because again, it's the light. And this one is called Riddleham Hope. There, Riddleham Hope. Look at the light that's painted on that. And it's watercolour. They were so inspiring to see. I'll put a link into the gallery. Not that there's a big website or anything, but you know, if you live near enough and you wanted to go and have a visit, you definitely, it's not somewhere you would just pass in driving around. You need to sort of know where it is to go to it. But it was thoroughly nice, and Carol herself was a really lovely lady, and she was very inspiring too, because she hadn't picked up a paintbrush in her life. She hadn't painted at all until she was sort of getting on for the age I am maybe, or maybe a little bit younger, I don't know. And she said a friend wanted to go to an art class in Hexham and wanted somebody to go with her. And so Carol went along as well. And it was the first time she'd ever drawn anything or painted anything. And from that, her paintings have been hanging in London in exhibitions, they're in books. She was just a thoroughly lovely lady, and I was so pleased to meet her. So it was a really lovely afternoon. It meant that I didn't get back here till about, well, it was after dark. It was about 4:30 by the time I got home. But I had warmed up dinner from the day before, which was very nice as well. And then I got sat down to do my knitting. So I'll show you my knitting too. He goes back up there. I'm trying my level best to get this jumper finished for Naomi. This wool is absolutely divine. It's baby alpaca, silk and cashmere. Luckily for the ranunculus jumper, I only needed 2 hanks. And I'm on big needles, which gives me the hope that I will get it knit in time, because my one only took 3 weeks to knit. So I've only been working on this not very long actually. So it's top down, so that's the neckline, but it's knitting up very well indeed, and it feels absolutely gorgeous. So I am, every spare second that I have, I am sitting down and putting another few rows on there. So I think that's going to be probably it for today. A bit of a short visit, because I am all dressed and ready to go out, because I go to Tai Chi on a Thursday morning. I've only been doing that since September. I signed up for a term and I wasn't quite sure. I was a bit, I remember Michael's mum doing it when Michael and I first met and were going out together. His mum used to do Tai Chi in the house. And I'd never heard of it. I mean, this was the 70s. I'd never heard of Tai Chi and never seen anybody doing it. But I sort of remember it fondly because of her doing it. And it was always so graceful. And when I saw that there was a little course going on at Barnet Castle, I thought, you know what, I'm going to sign up for that and get myself out and do something a bit out of what I would normally do. Because it's not really the sort of thing I would have done. And do you know what? I absolutely love it. And I've been enjoying every single Thursday morning that I go. I should have been gone already. So I'm going to just turn the camera off and say, no, I'm going to actually say bye first, and then I'll turn the camera off and say, hope you'll visit me tomorrow. I'll regale you with what happened at Tai Chi and see what else I've been doing today, which I think I can't put off the tidying up any longer. I think that's just probably got to be it. So bye everyone. See you tomorrow, along with my cup of tea at my mantelpiece. And I'm watching the starlings again. I need some of the birds on my bird feeders. The starlings are giving me antics at the minute. See you tomorrow. Bye everyone. Thanks for visiting.